Sundressed with the chest flow, hella stuck though. Never kid for the bucks though. Kept the flow smooth and clean like a limousine, but I can still pick it up like a truck though. Never mind that. Replay got a bad one. Where you find that? Till she got trees, we should intertwine that. Yelling pull up, that means rewind that. Got a wicked waistline, yelling where you wine at. All black with a backyard crew. Couple those two sipping top on cool. Keep the loud down if the cops come through, and keep your boo close if my squad see you. Like don't let your box get checked in, and don't let your man get took it. You took about 10 pics when I stepped in, took them straight to the net, no Brooklyn.
This one's from my hustle, stacking bread up on the low. Only pass the blunt to all the homies that we know. Only run from cops and when them hands come out windows, they bout to air it out. Air it out, air it out. This one's for my stoners that they cook out what you play for. Only spreading vibes and they don't got no time to hate. Throw one for your homie that they just let send upstate. We bout to air it out. Air it out, air it out.
Now packs and the pistols, till we dance like it's disco. Credit don't dump, where the Cisco. Yelling over speakers got me sounding like me. With too much piff got me high all week. Don't speak, no doubt. If you ain't come out, to stay up all night till the lips run out. Lean zipped up and the blood's burned out. What's your upstairs? Hope it all works out. Gotta call it champagne, couple plantains, 50 for the store run, keeping that change. You can tell your fam come too. Whatever they do, know it falls on you though. Yeah, man, listen. I be with the girls cooking pearls, man, listen. All up in your nerves when they been going missing. Tell them don't start like a bad transmission. Listen, y'all, fam, listen. Pretty crooked cousins and they on their way. We don't pay no mind to what they gon' say. Let the cartel play like a shot all day.
This one's from my hustle, stacking bread up on the low. Only pass the blunt to all the homies that we know. Only run from cops and when them hands come out windows, they bout to air it out. Air it out, air it out. This one's for my stoners that they cook out what you play for. Only spreading vibes and they don't got no time to hate. Throw one for your homie that they just let send upstate. We bout to air it out. Air it out.
Shot crazy, hold me down, that's my mo, baby. Hurry minute, hurry second, always. You been running through my mind all day. I ain't tripping on them, shot crazy. Hold me down, that's my baby. Hurry minute, hurry second, always. You been running through my mind all day. Shot it with daddy, cause she ain't got one. Tell you that is mine, ain't got a lot of you. They say that is power. When you die for it, had to cry for a homie. Get him out of the picture. I had a vision. We can get it if we hit the road. Difference everything we own. Stick at the roads. Shorty stumbled through my phone, bumping in the home. She told me stay low. Picky that's it for clothes. I ain't have to tell her. I ain't nothing like the other. There's something on that. Watch you staring at the ceiling, riding with a real one. This they get you. Telling all the friends like, girl, he right too. Yeah, that's my. Your backbone, always push my buttons and then blow me like a saxophone. Girl, you crazy, don't you talk to me in that tone. She a rider for my baby, I clap chrome, real shit. I ain't tripping on them, job crazy. 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 Hold me down, that's my mo, baby. Hurry minute, hurry second, always. You been running through my mind all day. I ain't tripping on them, y'all crazy. Hold me down, that's my baby. Hurry minute, hurry second, always. You been running through my mind all day. My baby by the business, no discussions, homie. Kinda like daddy, keep the busters off me. Keep it so cheap, but I touch it softly. And if it came that in, she'll bust it for me. Yeah, manicure and all that. On the run, dressed in all black. Till the wheels fall, talking 4 flats. Let's do that thing that you like, you record that. I'm in the blood daughter, he gon' probably kill me even though I got love for her. Talking big diamonds, lip liner from Sephora. Couple cold teas, calamari and tempura. Daddy did. And she don't with me cause I'm fly popular. She just tryna feed her with fried lobster. The niggas know what's up whenever I pop up. Don't worry about it, just know that I got us. I ain't tripping on them, job crazy. 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 I feel it.
I feel it. She wanna leave the club early, come back where a fat boy stay. I told her, bring a couple girls from Rich Duck, Willis and Bay. These girls really wanna get nasty, and I don't know none of their names. Wanna drink liquor, smoke good weed, but I'm gonna need a Gatorade. Concierge downstairs, tripping about the music and the loud weed smoke. Sent down 100 in the bottle as a you better not snitch, no. Live fast, enjoy every moment, cause just last year I was broke. Orange Gatorade, aid my sobriety while I'm giving out backstrokes. Round one, round two, round three, no bull. You only get 2 piece, no bull. That's really all you want from me. Your girls at the door, please company. Thick thighs, fat butt, slim waist, little bit of teeth, but I'm on a boat face. Heard the kitty cat roar when I went deep. She wetter than a swimming pool when I'm 10 feet. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who it is. She said she want a bad boy with a big. I give it to her, guarantee I miss her life up. She said she want me to taste her with my big lips, but if I do it, she be begging me to wife up. Baby girl, I put it down. I'ma go extra. Fly boy, you don't want your girl to get next to. I'll put a finger in her butt right now. I bet you she be begging me to pluck right now. Yeah, I'm nasty. Get ready for whatever weather day or night. I lay the pipe and when I lay it, I'ma lay it right. She'll be wanting to put my clothes in the closet. I don't need love, girl, I need a deposit. She wanna lick me like I'm ice cream. You know, strawberry blonde, make a walnut. She ain't as innocent as she might seem. As soon as we leave the club, I'ma call her.
Yep, that's right, baby. You know what it is? It's DJ Sus One, the feature presentation. Listen, make sure you wake up with Tayla Andre Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on Big City 101.3 FM. Wake up with the Radio Rebel. Politics, news, conspiracies. Wake up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. This is the type of stuff I'm into, all right? Make sure you tune in. Let's go.
Let's go, let's go. Good rising, family. Big City 101.3 FM. Waking up with Tayla Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. Hope all is well. Let's jump straight into this news. I think this is probably one of the most inappropriate questions ever asked. So, do you like men? Atlanta Falcons coach asked the Ohio State football player if he's gay during an NFL scouting meeting. What does it matter? Because you're going to put that number on my back and use me at your benefit anyway. So, why would you even ask? Eli Apple, a football player for Ohio State, was asked if he was gay by an Atlanta Falcons coach during an NFL Combine meeting. The NFL Combine is part of the road to getting drafted in the pro leagues. Apple did not name the coach who asked him about his sexuality. Falcons head coach Dan Quinn called the question inappropriate and unprofessional, and the NFL said it would be investigating the matter, the same as they did as Deflategate. And all of their other players being woman beaters and drug abusers and everything else down the list, and them being a 501c organization, which means they don't have to pay taxes as the NFL, but yet they're $1 billion organization. I'm not saying they can't make money. I'm saying the NFL does not need to be a 501c. Please explain to me what they do that constitutes them as being a nonprofit organization. I'll wait. I don't even know how that happened. And if you look up the history of the NFL and how they became a 501c, it's like, so they do charity work? So they applied and got it. What? That's like the local drug dealer applying for a 501c because he gives turkeys out on Thanksgiving and ham out on Christmas and presents and backpacks. Like, I'm feeling some type of way today if you haven't noticed. I definitely am. Oklahoma deputy shoots family dog and abandons the bleeding. Listen, I'm not a huge, I don't like pets. I don't do animals. The children want a dog. I said, you guys can dog sit. Y'all can get paid to keep somebody else's dog, but I'm not getting a dog. I'm not at that point in my life where taking care of another beating heart
is in my agenda. It sure is not. That includes a cat, a dog, a goldfish, anything else that includes a beating heart. The kids are enough energy, they're enough money, they eat everything. The last thing I need to do is bring something else into the house. So I'm not a pet lover. I'm not. I'm a pet tolerator. But this is completely unacceptable. Oklahoma deputy shoots the family dog and abandons the bleeding pet on the porch, leaving a note taped to the door saying, "You need to call us." When I read this report, I can't tell you how heated I was. Angie Lehman said her family returned home Wednesday and found their dog Bruno bleeding and a note that read in part, "The dog was shot. You need to call us." Sheriff's deputy was responding to a neighbor's report of hearing gunshots nearby when he turned into Lehman's driveway. They were not home at the time, but they did say that Bruno was covered in blood and crying. Authorities said that the deputy did nothing wrong by driving onto Lehman's property and described Bruno as aggressive. This is my dog. This is my pet. This animal, what's the one thing you tell a pet? Like, hold down the fort, take care of house, watch the house. Like, I really don't know what you say to a pet dog, but those are the things I'm thinking you may say. Like, Bruno, you got this, right? That's why we got a pet dog, for the family, for the security. Lehman said Bruno did not bite the deputy and was only protecting his turf because it's his house, not the officer's. Of course, the officer did nothing wrong by turning into my driveway, but there's more. There's so much more to the story, and the report does not cover it. First and foremost, I have a question. You were listening for gunshots, correct? How, at what point did you come into, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is, they did nothing wrong. They do nothing wrong when they kill dogs. They do nothing wrong when they kill people. They do nothing wrong ever. Do they ever do anything wrong? Do they ever, are they ever held accountable for their actions? Ever? Ever? And the family posted pictures of Bruno and the note and how they found Bruno. And then after Bruno had surgery because there was a bullet lodged in Bruno's shoulder, and the entire community went crazy. The entire community called the police station, called City Hall, called their they called everybody. But yet we have our youth them on a regular basis dying in our streets, but yet we're not picking up the phone, making a phone call. Government agency claims to have found the holy grail of batteries that can outdo Elon Musk's Powerwall, but won't say what it is. This claim made by Advanced Research Projects Agency Energy, ARPA-E, says its batteries can transform U.S. electrical grid within 5 to 10 years. That's sooner than BPS is promising to give children education. ARPA-E to get boost after U.S. pledged to double clean energy spending, and this was one of their secrets, and they are not unveiling it yet. They're not telling you anything. They're just saying that we have the best of the best. ARPA-E was launched in 2009 with a budget of $400 million and a mandate to fund the most cutting-edge technologies. The funds projects for 3 years at a time, focusing on commercializing new and exciting ideas and training researchers to pitch them in ways that investors can understand. This differs from traditional academic research, which tends to take entirely too long, Williams said, noting that the scientists will always focus on the next problem. How about we focus on the fact that Flint, Michigan has no water? And we have machines that can help with this situation. We have machines that will take that dirty water at millions of gallons a day at a time, clean it, and I don't know. But let's focus on batteries instead. I'm feeling some type of way because listen. The reason why I'm feeling some type of way is because we have all of the technology in the world, where did it come from? I don't know. I really don't care. But we have all of this technology. And instead of using the technology that we currently have, instead of, using drones to find out how can we better help the food industry? How can we better help communities of color? How can we find little children that are missing using drones? No. We're like, let's equip it with a gun and start killing people. We have all of this technology and no common sense. And it just frustrates the hell out of me because I ingest so much information about what's going on in the entire world. And again, these are nothing but puzzle pieces for me. They are individual puzzle pieces of a huge picture that is nothing but destruction. And then you understand that there's nothing new under the sun, Tayla. There will always be somebody who's complaining about the pain. There's always somebody who is actually administering the pain. And there's somebody who's not going to care about the pain, who's going to care about the money. At the end of the day, it feels today I feel hopeless. I feel hopeless because today for Power Hour, we're talking about violence against women. And I'm looking at the statistics and I'm paying attention to the facts. And it's heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking for me. I remember when once upon a time there was a code. There was a code in the street. If you had beef with somebody, you had beef with that person. You don't go find their mother. You don't go find their sister. You don't go find their daughter. You're not taking out your angers and aggression on women and children. Remember when we used to hold our government accountable for collateral damage when it involved women and children? Now drone strikes are killing women and children on a daily basis and no one's batting an eyelash. When did we create this humanity that believes that violence against women and children is acceptable? I guess I gave away Power Hour, huh? We have a call on the line, 617-282-0062. Good Rising, caller, you're live.
How you doing this morning?
Super fantastic. How are you?
Good. I just got in the car and I caught just a little whim of it. The thing about the drones, you're absolutely right. You would think that they would take things like that and use it for, the good. But it's sad that anything with technology is always used for some kind of war tactics first. Same thing with like GPSs and same thing with those chirp phones a long time ago. Before us as civilians were able to get a hold of these things, they all were, used for, the government's,
personal gain
and information and all that kind of stuff. It's really sad when you look at the situation, like you're saying, killing women and killing babies and stuff. We are at a point right now that they don't care. They don't care. And I'm looking at this thing on the internet where it's like they make it seem like they're worried about this, but the reality of this whole thing is like, I think that they're trying to, depopulate this world. And it's being proven. That's all I have to say. You have a good one.
Thank you, baby. Love and appreciate you. Hope you have an awesome day today. 617-282-0062. Good Rising, caller, you're live.
Good morning, Tayla. You got me to call twice this week again.
Oh, yes.
So I just want to point out that they are using drones for good purposes. They use them to measure the Arctic ice sheet. They use them for crop rotation. They use them to find new sources of water. So, all of those, what your previous caller was talking about, military inventions that get used in the military first and then transferred over to the general public, they do get used for good. It's not just that they use them for killing. And unfortunately, the military has sort of a black bag budget that they can just dump tons of money into technology. And that's why the military gets it first. And then we have to wait and get it second.
And what boggles my mind is one of the things that we are so certain of is that the brain, we're not tapped into our brain capacity in the ways that we know that we can. And one of the things that they cannot do is duplicate what the brain can do, what the brain can create, what the brain can fathom. We have not been able to take the technology of the brain and put it into a computer, even though the whole little cyborg thing is scary as heck. But we haven't been able to master that. How about we master education? Where's the black bag to education? So we can go ahead and master the one thing that God put on this earth that nobody else on earth has been able to master. How about we focus on that instead of focusing on technology, which is man-made, which has man-made flaws? Like,
I agree with you. However, I mean, the battery technology that you were talking about, if that takes the next jump, and then we get off oil, and then we can use those batteries to store energy, run heating in homes, run schools, run businesses, and we're not relying on oil to do that. Is that not a win-win for both?
it is, but then the batteries would be $1,500 a pound, an ounce. And then it would be a monopoly.
That pays for some of that research. I mean, you can't just get that. I mean, you can't get that for free. I mean, you do your radio show and you want to get paid for the knowledge that you bring to the people, and you want to get paid for what you know. It's the same thing with a researcher. I mean, there's got to be a trade-off somewhere. I mean, there's a monetary trade-off on both.
True. Point taken. But at what point? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, the other part, the cyborg part that you're talking about, currently IBM and MIT are both working on getting artificial intelligence to think and act like a human brain would. And they're getting really close. Now, that could be 20, 50 years down the road, but they're getting close, and they are starting to do that.
Absolutely right. I don't know if you were listening last week, but I read a story about how the government, DARPA, the Defense something Technology Research Development, DARPA came out with the cyborg where they were able to take a chip and implant it, and then it like finds its way to your brain. so soldiers can control machine with their brains.
It's getting close. DARPA is just the military side of the ARPA-E that you talked about. One is the civilian side and one is the military.
Oh, okay. I got you. That's crazy.
Thank you again for posting those pictures of your kids doing the walkouts. Those were amazing to see and to see what happened yesterday. That was an awesome pictorial. Thank you.
Thank you for taking a look at them. So that was not me. Anari just sent them to me, and I posted on his behalf. So Anari walked out of school yesterday at 11:30. It was something that he debated on for a long time because he attends a charter school, and one of the bills that was being passed was the charter school cap, and BPS parents and teachers were fighting against don't raise the cap. And the school called me like, we don't want Anari to send the message that, you don't want Anari to send what message? You're not sending my child anywhere. My child made the decision that he wanted to engage. I'm allowing him to engage. Please don't call me asking me questions. Like, I was really offended that they were like, are you sure? Have you spoken? Like, please don't question my intelligence. If he wants to attend, know that me saying yes wasn't him having a day out of school, wasn't him skipping school. It was something that he wanted to do, and he had a pretty damn good argument why he wanted to do it. Anari and Asaria may attend a charter school. They may have been able to lift the cap per se and get a high school, but they have cousins, they have friends, they have family members that are not in the MECO program, are not in charter schools, and they are seeing the difference between their education and their friends and cousins' education. And for Anari to say, I don't understand why all the kids in the city can't get the same education, that boy was able to walk out of school at 11:30 and walk with the other children. And so the videos that you see that I posted, as well as the photos that were posted, were taken by Anari, his experience. I didn't go with him. I didn't hold his hand. I didn't tell him where to go. This was him and his experience alone. And I am so proud of the decision that he made.
It is so awesome that you empowered him like that. It was great to see. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope you have an amazing day. Really quickly, 617-282-0062. Good Rising Caller, you're live.
Good Rising, Taylor. How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Hey, just want to give you a big up, right? Did you ever think about becoming a reporter, you would be a real good reporter. I mean, you would have some of these guys basically have no words at all for you and just walk out the room and just be completely upset with you. Did you ever think about that?
Okay, so I don't know. So I've been dabbing. Most of the times, as far as, reports are concerned, I get all the answers that I want by reading multiple reports. But recently, especially in this whole police officer scandal with the police officers in Dothan, Alabama, planting drugs on people, there's over 1,000 people that are currently in Alabama that are locked up because police officers who are now police chiefs and the Homeland Security director of that area, they got promoted for making sure that they got convicted and prosecuted people and locked them up in jail. And they're still they know this. There was an investigation in 1999. These are the things that make me want to be a reporter. The fact that there was a female raped by a state trooper in Alabama and there's no other answers. These are the things that I'm starting to make phone calls. And they're like, are you a reporter? And I'm like, hold on, am I? Because I have questions. You guys aren't giving the other people answers. Maybe I can get some. Maybe I am a reporter. So.
On this topic that you were talking about, this whole cyborg thing, right? It's funny how, as humans, we've become so detached from our own body. What's most important that we don't think it's the most important thing. We think everything else outside of us is the most important.
Mm-hmm.
But when your body's gone, what does anything else matter? What does money matter? What does anything? Once your health is gone, we could have $1 billion. You have zero health, and your body is starting to deteriorate. What are you spending all your money on? You're spending all your money on how to make the body better. So why are we not actually investing and focusing more on our body? We're focusing more on
Hold on, I got the answer. I got the answer, Sway. I got the answer, Sway. You ready for it? If it ain't about the money, that's all it's about. You know what? When I get so frustrated, I have to remind myself, if it ain't about the money, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. When it comes to health, when it comes to wellness, when it comes to education, when it comes to everything, if it ain't about the money, it don't matter.
You're right. They got this new technology too. You should check into this, right? The scientists have now figured out where your memory is stored, right, in your brain. They can erase memories and implant memories, right? Now you want a cyborg, right? So you want to take somebody and transform into the machine, and now you find out where you can keep the memory, right? So now you can erase memory and implant memory at your own free will.
Hold on, let me piggyback off that. Do you remember the story that I read? It had to be over 3 months ago. The story that I read where they said that they found where they can tap into religion and shut off your religion and shut off that part of your humanity. And they could implant thoughts into it, extract the religion and implant something else. I thought that threw me for why would you need that? Why would you need to take away from my humanity? Unless you're trying to build a super soldier that doesn't have any feelings when it kills women and children. Good rising, caller. You're live.
Good rising, Tayla. How you doing?
Super fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to call in to just chime in on the comment about the drones. And the caller previously, he mentioned something about, somebody's got to foot the bill for all this stuff and all this research. Well, a lot of that money that the military uses for research, a lot of that money is taxpayers' money. You know? So I'm feeling as if though, there's two sides to it, but if as a citizen, if my tax money is going towards those type of programs, I don't want them to use that for military. I don't want them to use it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got you 100%.
And at the end of the day, I would rather see my money spent in a different way. You see, it's sometimes all this technology and stuff and all that, sometimes it's not even necessary. I think sometimes the whole technology thing is a hustle game too, because the technology improves, but the human condition really doesn't. We have all this technology, but all these police officers are running around shooting people just because they don't listen.
Shooting dogs, leaving them on porch with a note, call us.
And when I hear that type of stuff, That's what it's coming to, that arrogance, that, oh yeah, you know, I was in danger, I felt scared, I shot you, don't worry, here's a note.
Pause. Why wouldn't you call the animal control to come get the dog so the dog don't bleed out and die? You don't know when the family was coming back. I think that was the thing that pissed me off the most about the story, is that they just left the dog on a porch, left a note, and left, instead of, you know, calling animal control, calling somebody, calling a vet, having them come to pick it up. Even if the family had to foot the bill, at least do something for my, I don't know. It's dumb. And I'm with you with the arrogance. You feel like you can do whatever you want to do, say what you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the bottom line. They see themselves getting away with murder. They see themselves, you know, and I think at the core of it too, like when we ask ourselves, why are these guys acting like that? Why are we seeing like such, like, you know, such quick escalation of violence when it comes to police? Because I don't care what they want to say. They want to call it police work or police procedure. That's just straight up violent behavior. Like, if I'm not being compliant and I'm feeling my rights are being violated, and then I end up being shot, there's just something wrong with that. You're supposed to be getting brought in to see the judge if police have to come and lock you up, you know?
I got you.
To the day, people are getting shot just because. I think it's the police procedure and the training, though. They're being told, like, hey, if you feel you're in danger, if you feel like, you know, you got to be in control of the whole situation. I mean, you see the videos. As soon as a person says, I know my right, cops is ready to throw the gloves up, swinging on you, punching you, women, men, anybody.
So I want to remind you of the story that I read yesterday about the police officer forum. So there was a reporter who went into a police officer forum, and they were talking about the tricks of the trade. And one of the police officers says, I have a solution for getting, you know, these street lawyers and these a-holes and everything else off the street. Somebody who thinks they know a little law or something, how to get them off the street. Keep a little baggie underneath your floor mat with a little cocaine residue, and you could go ahead and pin them with cocaine possession. You know, make sure you wipe the baggie on them so their DNA is on it. If they try to flip and talk about you planted it on them, but their DNA is on it, so how I plant it on you. So, and these are tricks of the trade. And they're finding, like, these police in this form, the reporter went ahead and had a private conversation with an anonymous police officer. He was like, listen, I do the night beat, and lying on my reports is something I do every day. He said, lying on my reports is something I do every day. I want to go ahead and take these two other callers because I want to get into Power Hour, and I have so much news that I wanted to share with you. We'd even get to that. Good Rising Caller, you're live.
Morning, Tayla.
Hey, Hillary, how you doing, baby?
I'm all right. I just wanted to call in and comment on the guy that just was on the radio when he said he would prefer his tax dollars to go to other stuff. You don't have a say-so in that. Your tax dollars go to whatever the government deems necessary for them. So you know how we get taxes taken out, FICA, never even wanted to know them, but they take your money. So,
baby, who is FICA? Who are they?
You don't know. And Uncle Sam, too, they get their money off the top. So what I'm saying is, I don't know why people are acting like this is something new. We would love for it to change, but this is government. Government is not run by free. It's run by our tax dollars. So just like the tea, we got bad service, and they just went up on the price.
They sure did.
So when we want things, we can't have them unless the government deems that, yes, we can give you a little bit. So let's not act like we're naive and know that what we want for our tax dollars to go towards education, towards anything that we feel passionate about, is not going to happen. So we have to do our little due diligence and pay into something, because they taking their money off the top regardless. And it's going to go to the Army, the armed services. It's going to go to wherever they deem necessary. And a lot of the stuff, it's not that it's bad. It's just that we personally think that other things should matter more. So to them, war, these drones, all this modern technology, which I truly agree that we've come a long way. But instead of using that for the common good, or using some of the money to go to something else, so we can see the difference. Because if you're not in the service, you're not going to see the progress. You're just going to hear and read about what they're doing. But if you are in the armed service and you using this modern technology and stuff, you can see the difference. So just like our education, if there's no money going into the education, our children are going to lack that. And we need to be an advocate for that. But we only can put in. If you waiting for the government to give you all the money that our children will need for a great education, they gonna suffer.
And there you heard it first with Hillary Clinton. No, that's not really Hillary, but that's just, we named her Hillary. Thank you, baby. I love and appreciate you. Hope you have an awesome day today. Good rising, Carly alive.
Hello?
It's you. Good rising.
I'm sorry, Tayla. I just called 2 seconds ago, and I just had to respond to the sister. I'm sorry. Like, you know, I don't, you know, I respect your opinion, sister, but to me, that just sounds such a defeatist attitude.
But hold on. I don't want us to go back and forth because it's a passionate subject. This is how I feel, and we can agree to disagree. I feel like as much as you and I might have this, you know, I'm a dreamer and I'm not the only one. She's a realist. She's 100% realist. There are no dreams. There are no fantasies. There are no. It is what it is, and that's how it's going to be. That's how it's been. And you and I, we're dreamers. Like, it is difficult for us to accept reality. And it's not a defeatist attitude when this is an entire system. So we may not like the system. We may hate the system. We may see the system in all of its flaws, but this is the system in which that we live. And Hillary just called it out as it is. Like, this is what it is.
I get that, Taylor, but just real quick, in our defense, in the dreamer's defense, the reality is a lot of that money that I'm talking about is frivolously being spent. You know, the government decides what they're supposed to do, but so what's the point of elections? What is the point of us being able to, you know, we could change laws, but we have to go through all this process that the average citizen don't really comprehend and understand. That's why we sit here talking about, the government is just going to do what they want, and whenever, you know, we can say what they want, but they're going to do what they want. But at the end of the day, we're the people. This is a democracy. If we want the government to focus our money where we want it, just like the sister said, we have to advocate, but we have to advocate for that. If we're going to sit here and say, oh yeah, the government can do whatever they want with our money, guess what? That's what they're going to do. Just like once upon a time, it was legal to have slavery, and because of the constant slavery votes, the slavery ended. The government was doing what it wanted when it was doing slavery. So this is what I'm saying, that tax money that I'm talking about goes to the corporate tax loophole. That's billions and billions of dollars that's supposed to be coming back to American citizens that we're not getting. Obviously, the government is doing whatever it wants with it. All that money that's going to the military is going to all that military technology. It's supposed to improve our lives, but a lot of that technology is killing people in real time, like right now. So I get it, yeah. On one side, we have benefits and we're gaining something or whatever, but that whole reality where we just can't do nothing about nothing, that's like not realistic. And I just feel people are not digging hard enough to make the connection. Like if we put a block to them and show them, say like, yo, you got to put the money where we say, then they're going to get used to that. But it's supposed to be a democracy, but we're behaving like it's something else, and that's what they're going to do.
Tyranny. We're behaving like we live in a tyrant society, and sometimes I feel as if we do. As many freedoms as we have, I don't think you guys understand how many freedoms have been taken away in the last 15 years. As many freedoms as we have, we are dwindling when it comes to our freedom. When it comes to our freedom of speech, we were once upon a time number one. I think right now we're like number 7 as far as freedom of speech is concerned. And there's I have to find it. It's on like the State Department website, and they list all the countries by the happiest, by the poorest, by, you know, mortality rate. And one of those filters that you can use is by the freedom of speech, that they have freedom of press. And our numbers have been dwindling. When I was in college, one of my professors had us looking up like the happiest country. I'm like, how you measure the happiest country? Well, they measure this nonsense. And We used to be one of the happiest countries. We're one of the most miserable. Once upon a time, as far as corruption was concerned, it was like Somalia was the number one corrupt country in the world. Can I tell you that we are slowly creeping up on Somalia? You don't believe me? Go read. It's not illegal anymore. The Rise and Caller, you're live.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Hey, Mr. Nubian, how are you?
I'm doing okay, but two things.
Do me a favor. So this phone line is really low. Can you hang up and call back, and I'll pull you up so everybody can hear you? All right. So while we're waiting on Mr. Nubian to hang up and call right back, Anonymous said, I tried to call, but the phone lines are busy. But on the topic of human cyborgs, do you realize that the process of boot camp and creating a soldier is all about erasing one's memory and making a robotic human soldier? People are not built for constant war. How our brains work have been studied. Although we honor what our servicemen and women do as sacrifice, it's a long studied program of the mind, hence the block of precision marching, act of command and no feelings. Nothing human about that. It's cyborgs. Machines are waiting to replace us. Good rising, Mr. Nubian, is it you? All right, talk to me.
One, people make things complicated than what it has to be. All you gotta do is vote, and if you don't do what you like, you fire them. But here's what people do. They vote for the same idiots, and they wonder why things don't change. Like, why would they? If you're gonna keep voting them to do what they want to do, of course they would do that. All you gotta do, if you don't like them, you fire them. You're an employer. You don't like the employee, you fire them. Well, that's what you are. Every time you vote, you don't like what this politician's done, you think you're one of his constituents, you fire him and you replace him. If he doesn't do it, and you keep doing it. That's it. And here's another thing. There was a call that says, well, some bad came out of the drones killing people, but some good came out of it. And I don't know if he was white, but the voice sounded. But here's the irony about white folks. When people of color are dying, it's just like, but as soon as white folks die, society is falling apart. Like everyone keeps saying, like I hear these Negropeans and Latinos talk about, how bad things are. Things have always been bad in this country for us. We've even killing millions of us. But as soon as some white people start dying, you got people talking about, things are so bad now. Negro, what has never been good for you? Like I spoke out, we got so much of a house Negro mentality. It's baffling.
You know what baffles me? A lot baffles me, and I really want to. Can we quickly run through these stories? I'll just read the headlines. You can go ahead and I'll post them and you can read them for yourself. A hero firefighter who rushed to the hospital to save a baby's life from suffering from a seizure. They went ahead, put the baby in the fire truck, rushed her to the hospital instead of waiting on quote unquote protocol, and they suspended the firefighter for breaking protocol. And I think it's absolutely stupid. They saved the baby's life and now he's suspended for breaking protocol. But yet when a police officer just blatantly kills somebody, they get the desk paid administrative leave. I think it's absolutely insane. The programmer who invented the email and made the @ popular died at 74. Ray Tomlinson passed away on Saturday after suffering a heart attack. He came up with the idea that messages could be sent between computers. In 1971, he sent the first ever email while working in Boston. We are the best. We've always been the best. He also chose the @ to connect a username with a destination. The official Gmail Twitter account paid tribute to Tomlinson for his support and all that he's done throughout the years. Shout out to him. 1971, the first email was ever sent. That's amazing. A Marine was discharged after getting caught up on camera harassing the black woman at the Trump rally. So you remember the black girl who had her backpack in the front. She was being pushed around and people were yelling at her and she had a smile on her face the entire time. One of those individuals was a Marine, and they discharged him. Joseph Pryor filmed shouting at Kaisha Nagawam at a political rally. Victim says that she was pushed and called racial slurs by Trump supporters. Pryor, who enlisted a month prior, posted pictures at the rally on social media. He has now been discharged from the Marine Corps delayed entry program. A 75-year-old Korean War veteran was seen violently shoving the young girl as well. Police say that they received 3 complaints of assault on protesters at the event. Question: the 75-year-old Korean War veteran, what were you doing in the Korean War? What were you doing in the Korean War? Were you one of the ones that were raping women, taking advantage of women? Because if you think it's okay at 75 years old to put your hands on a young lady, what were you doing in your heyday? Increase of 10.4% in financial aid will benefit a wide range of MIT families. This is a substantial rise that will benefit students and families across the economic spectrum. A huge shout out to Rashid, because Rashid was quoted in this story, and Rashid is actually one of Anari and Asaria's cousins. I am so proud of him. He currently attends MIT. He graduated high school at like 15 years old. MIT has been scouting him for years. I think he's like 17. How old's Rashid? Rashid's like either 17 or 18 and about to graduate from MIT. So I'm really excited. He was one of the students to protest and to fight for this as far as the 10.4 increase in financial aid that will benefit a wide range of MIT families. In other news, really quickly, yes, the MBTA raised its fares. So freaking dumb. So dumb. So a bus pass will go from $50 to $55, absolute change of $5. The link pass was $75, is currently $84.50, an increase of $9.50. I think some of the biggest increase will be commuter rail zone 10. And if I'm correct, commuter zone rail 10 goes out to like Plymouth, Kingston, by where my mom stays, because I used to take that. And for the monthly pass, it raises $36.25. For regular bus fares, is a 10% increase, 10-cent increase. For Inter Express bus, it's a 25% increase, and these are on individual fares. It's absolutely sickening. And I think a lot of people are so disgusted because we know for a fact that there's engineers, maintenance men that are getting over $300 and something thousand for clocking in how many hours that they want. They have nobody that they have to answer to. They have nobody that they have to approve to get overtime, but $300 and something thousand. You're getting more than we sat here and sent for Chang in California for working on trains. And this man's working on education. Yeah, for those who didn't know, we went to California and got Superintendent Chang and decided to pay him $300,000. Now you know where your tax-paying dollars are going. And as far as the MBTA is concerned, if they took a look at how much they were actually paying some of these employees, with 1 in every 3 T employee receiving over $100,000 a year, I'm not, we live in a capitalistic society. I want $100,000 a year too. You're not the only one that wants to make money, but at what expense? When there's people who, I swear, every time I turn around, I'm reading another story about how the T's is increasing its fares. But not once have you guys increased the damn railroad or fixed a rail, got new trains, fixed a bridge. I could go on. I'll leave it alone. I'll pause. I want to shout out to the 2,000 students that walked out of school at 11:30 in the Rising. Shout out to you. Shout out to you and all that you do. Those babies behaved themselves. They took themselves and marched their little bodies down to the Commons. There was a rally down there going on with the taxi drivers, but they maintained. There was nobody who got arrested. There was nobody who got in trouble. Anari said they were down there behaving themselves. A lot of children were very upset. A lot of children, Anari said, were really informed. He was talking about how some of the kids were talking and he didn't understand what they were saying. He had a few questions, and I was completely surprised how informed some of these children were. It wasn't about getting up and just leaving school. And people like, oh, the kids could have done something better. They could have wrote letters. They could have done this. They could have done that. What they did what they feel like they had to do. They wanted to set some action in motion. They felt like the parents weren't doing anything. These adults weren't doing everything. So they stood up and left. And a lot of adults were standing in solidarity with these children. Shout out to every 2,000 of them. Got themselves up and went ahead and said, listen, we need a change. We have a caller on the line. Good rising, caller, you're live.
Rising, good morning.
Hey, Miss G.
I just called because I was just outraged at the behavior of person that's serving the country assaulting young kids like that, verbally and physically. I think that he should be brought up on charges of assault. And because that's public display of racism right there. And also too, I seen a video of a young man walking to get coffee. Did you see that one?
I didn't see that, Miss G.
Yeah, and he was talking about the police state, and all of a sudden he's saying, talking about the police and the situation in Ohio, and the cops came and jumped on him and assaulted him, and he told them that his phone was running. He had them on film, and the way they treated him, I mean, this is just utterly ridiculous. I don't have any young kids, but my God, I'm scared to death for these kids out here.
You're not the only one, baby. You are not the only one.
Can't even go get a cup of coffee. Come on now. I just wonder where is it all going to end? Because every day we see something new with the police, and their behavior is just
ludicrous.
I don't understand it. I don't get it. Where's the respect? Where's the communication? I don't understand. Have a good day, Tayla.
Thank you, Miss G. I love and appreciate you. You know what? There's very little communication. So yesterday when I was being a reporter, I called the state trooper's office. The state trooper's office, listen, long story short, I ended up having to call the attorney general of the state of Alabama and leaving a message because nobody wanted to call me back or nobody wanted to talk to me. But when I called the state trooper's office or barracks, they gave me a number and told me I could get all my information there. Do you know they gave me the number to 911? Like it was like 334-386-9911. And I was like, oh, what kind of number is that? The 911 number? Yo, I was so upset. But it is what it is. Something's got to give. And we got to do the giving. But really quickly, I know the show damn near over. We're almost done. And we didn't even crack open power hour. So some of the facts that I wanted to give you, I really wanted to talk today because yesterday we empowered women, say her name, call her out. A whole bunch of people called up here, giving a shout out to sisters, mothers, aunties, cousins, godmothers, women in their life that they thought needed a boost, needed a little bit of love and respect to say, you know what? I respect you. I honor you. Shout out to you. Big up to you. And I was having conversations about women and the history of the way we've been treating women in our country and how we think that every other country is oppressing their women. But we don't think for a second that here in our own backyard, we too are oppressing women. We too are taking advantage of women. The violence against women here in this country is ridiculous. And here are some of the numbers. Over 22 million women in the United States have been raped in their lifetime. Now, these numbers, these statistics are over 6 years old because these were a survey. This was a survey that took place in 2010. 18.3% of women in the United States have survived a completed or attempted rape. 18% of women. Since when did this violence against women? And I go back again to once upon a time when people had morals and people had common sense, and we never involved women and children. We knew better. We knew we had a sense of humanity. That could have been my mother. That could be my daughter. As men, we're going to go ahead. We'll duke this out. We'll fight this out as men. We'll shoot this out as men. But we're not involving family. We're not involving children. We're not involving mothers, wives, sisters. Of the 18.3% of women who have survived rape or attempted rape, 12.3 were younger than the age of 12 when they were first raped. 29.9 between the ages of 11 and 17. And when we have all of these videos and the little nasty videos, the little uncut videos, all the times we call them women garden tools and we call them female dogs. At what point, when did humanity, when did society have such a disrespect and disregard for women? It's Women's Month, and I need y'all to be a little bit more mindful of self. And not only the men disrespecting these women, but the women disrespecting women. What happened to the sisterhood? What happened to girl power? What happened to that bond of females? I'm not saying we haven't always been catty. Yes, most likely we've always been itches. Most likely. But I feel like at some point, I feel like in my youth, we had more of a band or more of a bond with women that were uplifting women. And instead of, girl, let me tell you about this. Since when did humanity become this person? Like, I feel like we have become this evil person that was once so pure. Every 90 seconds, somewhere in America, someone is sexually assaulted. Again, these are facts and statistics of 2010. 1 out of every 5 American women has been the victim of an attempted or complete rape in her lifetime. 1 out of 5 women. So when I'm standing in a room with 4 other sisters, one of us has already been raped or attempted. Somebody attempted to rape us. What was it? 18.3% that attempted rape was younger than the age of 12. Mothers, be mindful of these boyfriends. Be mindful of these men that you bring around your daughters. We're so worried about our feelings and the love and affection and attention that we want that we're not paying attention to the love and affection that our children are getting from people that they shouldn't be getting it from. 15% of sexual assault and rape victims are under the age of 12. 29% are 12 to 17. 44% are under the age of 18. And 80% are under the age of 30. Ages 12 to 34 are the highest risk of a woman to be raped. Girls 16 to 19 are 4 times more likely than the general population to be victims of rape. 16 to 19. But yet, how many parents have I seen allow some of these 16-year-olds to walk out the house looking like they're 26-year-olds? And I'm with Amber Rose all day. If I'm laying butt naked in the bed and you're about to and we're about to and I say no, no means no. Anari and Asaria were wrestling, they were play fighting, and Anari pinned Asaria down and she told him, get off me. No, get off me. And he's over there tickling her. And as innocent as that was, I had to knock him the hell out and get him to understand that no means no. I don't care if it's your sister. I don't care if it's another woman. If a woman tells you no, that means you get up and leave. Get up and walk away. I felt at this point at that moment in time, I felt like that could have been somebody else's daughter. I felt like, what would I do if he was in a position? Like I had to get him to understand. We had to sit down and have a conversation. And he was like, Mommy, I know about rape and I know about taking advantage of people. And that's, I get it. I get it. But no means no. Take a look at Kobe Bryant. Take a look at who? Isn't he? Okay, fine. Maybe that wasn't the best example. And Ari, let me find another one. We have to get our sons to understand no means no. No doesn't mean if you're drunk enough or if you're tipsy enough. I go back to college when we were reading a study, and in the study it was talking about men in college that think it's acceptable to take advantage of a woman when she's passed out. That's a form of rape. If she's too drunk to engage in sexual activity, you're raping her. I don't care if you're an adult. I don't care if you're in college. I don't care how old you are. If she's too drunk or too passed out to engage and thrust back, guess what? I think you need to roll over because what is that? Necrophilia? What is that when you sleeping with dead people? Necrophilia. When did we become this society that believes that crimes against women are just, hey, so acceptable? 617-282-0062. Let's discuss this. Let's talk about this. I'm a huge fan of Grand Theft Auto. But there's missions where you have to go find a chick beat her behind, steal her money, and you get points. What? Since when did we become this society? Not just video games, not just videos, but the way we treat women in commercials, the way we treat women at some of these television shows. I don't have cable, but when I go around people's houses, I do have cable, and I'm taking a look at television. Mind you, I haven't had cable since Asaria was about 8 months. That was the last time, and Asaria's 10, going on 11 this year. I haven't had cable in over 10 years. The children don't even know Nickelodeon, Nick Jr. They don't know that. And I think these are the things that help form who our children are and who they are becoming. When it comes to television shows, I'll admit I'm very lenient. They watch a lot of things they probably shouldn't watch. Anari's favorite show is How I Met Your Mother. They have watched every episode of How I Met Your Mother. Anari understands the difference between Barney and Ted as far as their sexual history is concerned. And I use that as a platform to talk about other things. Hey, that was the easiest way for me to talk about the birds and the bees. But we also watch the Boondocks and talk about the history, the facts behind it. Like, you have to be mindful of what you're putting in your children's ears. Well, Tayla, damn, the Boondocks. That's horrible. Is it really? Because for me, it's a cartoon of nothing but history that you could use to break down and teach them a little something. We're all different. 63.84 or 64% of women who reported being raped, physically assaulted, and or stalked since the age of 18 were victimized by a current or former husband, cohabitating partner, boyfriend, or date. So these men that we are trusting with our lives, these men that we trust, that we love, that we honor, are the ones 63% of the time are the ones that are doing the hurting. 63% of the men that we love and trust are the ones that are committing these atrocities towards us. Again, when did we become this society that has accepted the way we treat women? When rape is this high. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine in regards to violence against women. And one of the things that he mentioned was, Tayla, I can't find a girl out here that has never been sexually assaulted. All these chicks got problems. They got mental issues. They can't let go of the past. They don't trust men. They've been assaulted at some point in time in their life, whether it was by an uncle, whether it was by their daddy, by a cousin, or whether they got older and it was an ex-boyfriend who they just wanted to come over and chill. I just want a chick that ain't never been defiled. Is that too much to ask? I've been treating women like queens for years because my mother taught me how to treat a woman. But these women don't even know how to be treated. When did we become this society? Good rising, caller, you're live.
Good rising, Taylor. Today's a good topic. I like the two gentlemen that called earlier about the vote. I know we're not talking about that, but these brothers just pull whatever. Everything they say, that's what I was thinking about. This is the first time I'm like agreeing with Nubian. He said everything that I wanted to hear today. The reason why the Grand Theft Auto is just like in fame right now, that's what we, every reality show you're talking about, I'm not talking about, you're watching, what is it all about? It's all about, someone sleeping with each other, someone getting dispensed. This is what the new 21st century is all about. I don't even know why a parent will buy that crap game for their kids. I really don't get it. Like, do they even do research about it before they buying it? Because all you have to do right now, a smartphone, you Google the name of the game, you read the reviews, and the next thing you know all about the game. Why would you want to get something like that? It's like my little cousin got that game, and I'm like, why
I was arguing with his mother, like, why you buy that junk for him? But that's what he wanted. I'm like, yeah, that's what he wanted. Do you know what is it all about? No. They think it's just a video game, but a lot of parents not paying attention to their kids. Not doing not communicating with the kids. Whatever the kids want, they're just gonna give it to the kids so the kids could feel happy, so they could be happy moms. We need to start invest into our children. Not only invest in our children, we need to pay attention to them. Because if you don't pay attention to them, you know who's gonna pay attention to them? The law. The law doesn't do one thing, is to put them behind bars and then give them a record and then life is over. We need to come to especially now, it's a reality. It's like, we can't be playing around anymore. Cops doesn't just say, all right, go talk to your moms and all that. No, cops want to get promoted. Another for them to get promoted is just handcuff. How many arrests you did, how many violations you did for the month. That's how people get move up to the ladder. Back then, it used to be like, I know John, like, let me go talk to John. And then, if they talk to your pops, you're going to get beat the crap out of you. Not anymore. Everyone want to climb up the ladder. So if I have to put you behind bars, 10, 12, 14 years old behind bars, I don't care. As long as I know I'm going to get a big check out of it. We need to, please, that's why I want my minorities, black folks, pay attention to your kids. Don't wait for the teachers to do it, because the teacher's not going to do your parents. You are the parent. The teacher's not the parent. That's what I had to say today, Taylor. Have a good one.
You as well. Whew. Waking up with Tayla Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7, Big City, 101.3 FM. So today, I don't want to say we started late. I'll just be transparent. We started 100% late. And one of the things that we were discussing today are crimes against women, violence against women. We talked about drones and how, we have all of this technology and none of it's really being used for the better of society, the good of the people. We talked about our tax-paying dollars and how our tax-paying dollars are going for what the government believes should be funded. We talked about a lot today. I wanted to focus, because it's Women's Month, I wanted to focus on the way that we treat women. I want for us to discuss the fact that, 1 in 3 females are sexually assaulted worldwide. Here in the United States, 1 in 5 women have been raped or sexually assaulted. And I want to know, at what point did society say that this is acceptable? At what point do we see a woman on a beach being gang raped by multiple men? This happened in Florida, and people were taking pictures. People were walking past. In the video, you could see people watching and pointing and laughing. But this woman was on the beach in Florida being gang raped by multiple men. Nobody stopped it. Here in Massachusetts at a concert, there was a woman being raped at a concert. I remember once upon a time, you couldn't talk to a woman a certain type of way without men standing up and looking at you funny, like, yo, go ahead and apologize, correct your wrong, and don't speak to her like that ever again in your life. I remember when a man used to call a female a B, and everybody used to have a problem with that. What do you mean a B? What'd she do to you? Hold up. You don't talk to no female like that. I remember those days. I'm not that old. When did that light switch come on? Like, oh, it's acceptable. Let's just disrespect these itches. Let's just disrespect all of them. Little female dog, little garden tool. Disrespect all of them. Since when? 617-282-0062. Good rising, caller, you're live. Good rising. Shut your radio off for me, baby.
Oh my God, sorry about that. Yeah, I think this has been basically coming on slowly. We just have to realize that it's basically coming on so slow. You gotta remember, since the 80s, what has been going on? We got music videos, now we got YouTube, now we got all this crazy porn on, websites. So basically, we become desensitized. You know what I'm saying? Before, you would look at a woman, woman says, okay, whatever. You try to, like you say, You date the woman, you try to court the woman, and they just basically like, okay, this is the woman I want in my life. This is a good woman. So you say you want to treat her good, so because you want her to be yours, you want her to be happy with you. But not no more. Now you're just trying to get her that one night and smash that one night. And basically, when you smash that one night, you know, okay, she's with this. I didn't have no need for it. So basically, just throw her down there to the next guy, and then now she feels used and abused. You know what I'm saying? And it becomes a dangerous cycle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. I've been guilty in the past of calling women outside their name. It's not something I'm proud of. It's something that I realized I did wrong. I changed my way. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's something like that. Now we have to realize what we're doing wrong, and we have to change our ways. We can't just wait for everybody else to change. You have to see where your fault is, and you gotta change. Just because everybody else around you is not changing doesn't mean you don't have to change. If we were all to look at it like that, like, okay, you know what? I'm calling her this, so how would I feel if somebody called my mom, dad, or my sister the house? How would I feel about that? Somebody does this to my mom, my sister, or my daughter? I feel about it. But a lot of people doesn't look at it like this. Like, okay, whatever. She's just a blah this, blah that. She ain't nobody. But we gotta get down back to the human aspect of things. We kind of drifting into, I don't know what this is.
Hold on. Get back to the human aspect. What human aspect? We about to be cyborgs, boo. We're about to be able to clap off with your brain. Okay? What you mean human experience? When did we, you know what? When did we stop being human? Because we're over here worried about cyborgs, but when people walking past a woman being raped, let alone just a female being verbally disrespected. And I really do. I'm 32 years old, about to be 33. Damn, I'm old. I remember females having respect. I remember chicks being at the bus stop, dude want to talk to her, and she's like, nah, I'm good. He called her a B, and people like, whoa. Nah, son, don't talk to my sister like that. I remember those days. It's not like that anymore. And I want to know where are the real men at? Where y'all at? Where's the men that used to stand up for women? You're not about to talk to a sister like that, because if you're willing to talk to her like that, you might talk to my mama like that. You might try to talk to my daughter like that. All these men talk about some check my resume, coming at females. What you coming at a female for? Go sit yourself down somewhere. 617-282-0062. I want to know what happened. I want to know where the men at. I want to know why we disrespect women, why it's acceptable. 617-282-0062. Good Rising, call you live. V from Tennessee. Hey, boo.
Yes, good rising. Let me turn this down real quick. So I'm listening to the show and all the comments are great, but I just want people to think about one thing, is how much our society has been over-sexualized. And when I say that, I don't mean being freaky with your partner behind closed doors. I don't mean for the purpose of reproducing and creating a family. I mean, everything you see on television, there's a blurred line, like between reality shows and real life. Producers are taking people's fantasies and putting them on a front stage for everyone to see. And then your fantasy, people want to act out their fantasies in reality. And where the abuse comes in on the behalf of men and sometimes on the behalf of women is when a person has a sense of hopelessness. They don't feel like they're in control of their lives. They haven't been allowed to be in control of their lives because they're being abused by other people, cops in the street. So then you impose your will on someone else, an unwilling partner, through some type of weird sexual fantasy. So when you see someone on the beach and you see a woman being raped, the first thing they say, hey, this is a reality show. This is not real life. Let me break out my camera. No one's going to walk up there and try to intervene and say, hey, you know what, this is wrong. Because there's a blurred line between people's fantasy and reality. And it starts with all the crap we see on television. I'll go back and say, there's nothing wrong with being freaky. There's nothing wrong with doing that with a willing partner. But even when you are engaged with that person, sometimes they'll say just in a freak moment, no, they'll give some resistance. Well, you say no means no, but sometimes the woman is encouraging that even though she's saying no, but that's with a willing partner. Now, when that happens with an unwilling partner, then you still thinking, well, this is still turning me on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy because people can't separate real life from reality. And we need to re-engage ourselves back to what you were talking about, Taylor, back in the day. Where is the hero in these reality shows? Where is the message where's the message to the madness? There's no one at the end that says, you know what? This Love and Hip Hop show was about how messed up our minds are, but at the end, you know, this happens. Or at the end.
So you're talking about like Jerry Springer, like even though we just showed you a whole bunch of ruckus and hood, what is it? What Nana call it? Even though we showed you a whole bunch of back alleyness.
Type thing. There's no final thought to all this crap that we see. No, you know, even in movies, sometimes, not, you know, probably to a less degree now, but most of the time there's something in the end to learn from. But when you're just sitting here watching a whole bunch of these shows, kids are watching these shows, they're learning from it, they're going to see their teachers, you know, look at their over-sexualize themselves, you know, and all this stuff is just clogging our energy. And it's absolutely amazing to me. I'm going to share a quick story. I'm going to let you all go. The first time and you might think this is weird, the first time I stepped into a strip club, I had a horrible time. You know why? Because the first thing I thought, I was like, you know what? Why are all these women taking off their clothes for money? I did not enjoy myself. And I'm telling you I had to figure out what was wrong with me. I was like, is something wrong with me? You know, I did not enjoy myself. And I told my homeboy that took me, you know, because I told him, I was like, I don't know, you know. So, and when we left, I was like, bro, you know, I really didn't enjoy myself, man. And he was like, why? Cuz, you know, what's wrong with you? I was like, well, I just kept thinking there was more than that.
You turn into Drake real quick, like, girl, you don't have to be here. Come on, I can save you.
No, not like that. It wasn't really like that. I was just like, I know they have something in their brain, you know, and maybe they're just doing it for the money. But still, I guess it was just the respect that I naturally grew up with and have for women. That is just, you know, I see it on Periscope. You know, sometimes people share little videos and you might look on it and you're like, okay, that's not what the title says. And they're asking these girls to do something. Your viewers are leaving. Girl, you need to do something. Open boob, open breast. I'm like, any woman on Periscope that's trying to, even if it's a inspiring message, you got idiots, perverts that's coming in there like, open this, open that, do this, do that. I'm like, dude, we just want to sit here and soak up this energy, man. The woman's just trying to say something. Chill. You know, I get so frustrated, man. And I don't want to take up that much more time, but Taylor, I swear, this topic needs to be talked about a little bit more, maybe not back to back, because when we have Freaky Friday, that's different. But, you know, during the week, man, we need to talk about this because it is destroying everything. The women, and then they do it for the money. And I mean, it's crazy. Anyway, I gotta go.
V from Tennessee, you getting on a soapbox now, V from Tennessee.
Listen, man, y'all have a good day.
We love and appreciate you. Hope you have an awesome day. Shout out to Anonymous. She said, you know, forget television. It's a personal responsibility and proper parenting in nation community building. We lost aspect of community. There's plenty of educational programs on TV, but they're being canceled because we're not paying attention. How many people, in all honesty, how many people today make sure that their toddler, their newborn are watching Sesame Street? Listen, I can damn near recall every episode of Sesame Street during my childhood. Reading Rainbow, I think Channel 2 was the only channel I was able to watch. And then what's his name? Mr. Bean? Mr. Bean used to be on Channel 2. I swear I wasn't allowed to watch TV. Well, maybe that's because I'm old enough to have remembered when WLVI 56 used to ask, do you know where your children are? Do you remember that? It's 10 o'clock. Where are your children? I used to be like, yo, where are your parents at 10 o'clock? Because Leela Mary still wasn't home. But I remember a completely different lifestyle than today. I remember a completely different programming. And you're absolutely right. Television is programming. Anonymous said History Channel. You can't believe everything you learn on History Channel, though. I'm going to tell you that now because I did my own research. I'm like, hold on. Did they just say that? I know that to be false. Let me go do my own due diligence. Yeah, History Channel just lied. Yep, we're going to shut that off now, too. But I get it. At what point are we going to take personal responsibility for how society is today? We cannot sit here and itch and complain about what's going on and not take personal responsibility. We definitely need to say, listen, I contributed, my son has this mouth on him, and I contributed this by the shows that I let him watch, by the television I let him watch, or my daughter thinks it's okay to dress like this because everybody on her Instagram timeline is already half naked, and I don't sit here and check her now. I'm going to punch you in the throat now, so later on, you could speak with clear voice. What, Tayla? Listen, we're going to nick it in the butt. I don't even know the real term. We're going to fix this now, so later on, you don't think this is acceptable. Asaria could dance her behind off, but that girl would not twerk to save her life. Come on, Asaria, let's twerk. She's like, Mommy, you're crazy. I'm not doing that. You want to know why? I'm going to be 150% transparent with you. When Asaria was a little thing and she went to we lived in Birmingham, Alabama, and she went to a real hood rat. I'm just going to be honest. It was a hood rat daycare. That was the only thing I can afford at that time. I was 22. I was young. About 24 at that time. She was about 2 and 3, and all the little hood rats were teaching their kids all type of little nasty dances. So we decided to watch a Wetty Wednesday, Dirty Friday, and I was like, you see them little nasty girls? She's like, ew, Mommy, ew. Exactly. That's what it's going to look like. You keep doing what them little girls in your school are doing. Tayla, she was 2 and 3. And you know what? Right now, she's 10, going on 11, and that girl won't think about a damn twerk. For me, I feel like it's adverse. I ask Anari and Asari to drink and smoke all the time. Come on, let's go pick up this cigarette and go smoke it real quick. That's disgusting. Because if I can't peer pressure you to do something, your friends can't peer pressure you to do something. When do you have those conversations with your children? When your son and your daughter are play fighting and your son gets too rough, when do you sit down with him and let him know that there are boundaries and lines that he cannot cross? When your daughter's over there play fighting with your son and she want to hit him and think for a second that a man won't turn around and knock her ass out, you have to have those conversations with your children. I don't condone a man putting his hands on a woman, but I don't condone a woman putting her hands on a man either. When did we allow our society to accept this level of disrespect? These females don't respect these men. These females don't respect these other females. These females don't respect themselves. We talk to our children any type of way, call them little MFers, call them little NIGs. Like we'll disrespect a child in a second. When did we become this society? 617-282-0062. Good rising, call you live.
Good rising, Taylor. How are you this morning?
Super fantastic.
Well, I just wanted to chime in on this conversation. I think it's a dope dialogue. The one thing I wanted to add to the conversation was I think society has been like this always, unfortunately. You can go back to there's civilizations that do better than others, but the technology has just exposed it and made it more popular. But it does come down to people's personal belief system. Whether you're a male, female, once you're an adult, you're going to be influenced by what you see and what you hear and different circles you're in. And your belief system, hopefully, is ever evolving. The guy called earlier about, we've as a man, I have, dated women that I didn't treat with respect. And as you get older, you learn a little bit more about that. You have to challenge your own belief system. I think the challenge is we're not all born into the same belief system. We're not all raised the same. We don't, you hear women tell their sons, oh, when he gets older, the women are going to love him. He's going to be such a little player. And that informs the boys' belief system that the more women he has, the more the women are going to love him. And men reinforce that, and women reinforce that, and we subconsciously reinforce a lot of these things that we're not even aware of ourselves. So I think we have to consistently check ourselves on our belief system. What we believe about to be true about a woman, or believe to be true about a man. And a lot of it is stuff we have been programmed with, and not just in TV. A lot of us do believe that men should be providers monetarily, and women should have certain gender roles and things like that. And you have to be able to challenge those and own them on your own. So I think, based on your own belief system, is gonna lead how you carry yourself, and all your actions are gonna be based off that. And so the child who doesn't have good upbringing and has a different belief system, those of us that are more enlightened, more awake, it's our responsibility to then intervene, to then show them something else and try to influence their belief system. But knowing that we all come from a different point, so it takes some tolerance. And like you said, at some point you have to nip it in the bud, I believe the expression goes. But we all have a part to play in that, and it starts with ourselves. So I think before we can even look at anyone else, we do have to look in the mirror every day and challenge ourselves to be better than we were the day before.
Okay. I'm talking to the man in the mirror. Oh, yeah. I thank you. Thank you so much. Love and appreciate you. Big City 101.3 FM, waking up with Tayla Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. We're currently at the top of the hour, and we've been like this for a while. Last caller said, it's been like this for a while. One of the things that you said that I'd like to piggyback off of is as far as society is concerned, we live in a society where if I see your child doing something wrong in the grocery store and I tell your child, go sit themselves down, go find your mama, go over there, the mama finna find me and come talk to me about their child talking about something. This lady told me I need to come find you. Oh, it's happened before. So I'm in the store, one of the big boxes. It doesn't happen often, but yes, I go to big box businesses for things that I can't get or don't know how to get yet as of now. And there was a little boy doing something he had no business doing. And I thought he was stealing. I'd say, hey, you need to go find your mama. His mama went and came and found me talking about why are you talking to my son like that? Pause. I'm trying to make sure that you and your son don't get locked up and arrested while he over here trying to stuff things in his pants and you not paying attention because you too busy on the phone the entire time. If you paid a little attention to your child, you know that somebody else is looking out for you and not trying to talk to your child any type of way. We've come to that point where your neighbor can't say anything to your kid. I have one of the worst kids in the world as my neighbor. That little boy scream out the window all types of cuss words all the time. I told his mother, you want me to give him papaws? I'll give him papaws. She said, oh, yes. Don't yes me, because I'll take your son in my house, teach him a few things. He'll come back saying, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I'm that neighbor. I am that neighbor. And we got to a point where people don't want you to say nothing to their kids. People don't want you to say nothing to them. And I have to admit, I'm one of those people. I tell the children, when you walk outside my house, don't give anybody a reason to contact me about you. As much as I'm on top of you, as much as I'm in your ass, the last thing somebody else need to do is tell me how to raise you. So don't go out here in these streets. Don't go at your auntie's house, your cousin's house, your tati's house, your daddy's house. When you leave my house, don't have nobody pick up the phone calling me about you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We play with children too much. I don't play with children. I don't play with kids. And I feel my feelings, opinion, not fact. I feel like if we paid a little bit more attention to our children, I think we need that balance, because back in the day, that old school, you were seen and not heard. And today you're seen, heard, get to do what you want, get to talk back, get to disrespect your parents in front of other adults. I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen children blatantly disrespect their parents in front of other adults. And you want me to choke them for you? I'll do it. I'll do it. You want me to knock this little thing on his behind because there's no reason why he should be talking to you like this. And I feel like if you feel like you could talk to your mama like that, one of these days you're gonna grow up. You think you could talk to your lunch lady like that. You think you could talk to your teacher like that. You think you could talk to your girl like that. You think you could talk to your wife like that. You think you could talk to your daughter like that. It's a trickle down effect. He said, nip, N-I-P, nip it in the butt. Nip that in the butt now. Really quickly, Asaria was telling me a situation that was going on in school, and the girls didn't like each other, and they were being catty with each other, and she has two friends, and neither one of them like each other, and they're telling her, you have to choose me, or you have to choose me, but you can't be friends with both. Asaria said, wait, but pause. If I choose to be friends with you, and I choose to be friends with you, you guys don't have to be friends with each other. But if you're going to be friends with me, you're going to understand that I like the other person, and there's nothing you can say or do to change that. I can't tell you how proud I was. That was probably one of the proudest moments as a parent that I've ever felt, that she could stand up to herself and say, listen, I like both of you as my friends. You don't have to like each other, but if you like me, you're going to deal with one another. And as parents, we're sitting on the phone talking about our best friend, hang up the phone, call her, and then talk about somebody else like you just weren't talking about this chick. And you think that our children don't listen. You think that they don't pay attention. We're wondering, where does this behavior come from? Oh my gosh, I'm standing and the man in the mirror. Big City 101.3 FM, waking up with Tayla Andre, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7. I love you. I appreciate you. And I hope you have an awesome day today. Conversation does not end at 7 a.m. Head over to mixcloud.com, TAYLA, ANDRE.
That's right, baby. You know what it is? It's DJ Sus One, the feature presentation. Listen, make sure you wake up with Tayla Andre Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. on Big City 101.3 FM. Wake up with the Radio Rebel. Politics, news, conspiracies. Wake up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. This is the type of stuff I'm into, all right? Make sure you tune in. Let's go.
If it's not Big City, it's not certified Big City.
There are so many times today that I wanted to cuss. And I want to cuss because I had a friend of mine tell me the reason why you want to cuss so much is because you don't know how to use your words. If you use your words, you wouldn't cuss. Fuck that. Sometimes it's better to cuss. Sometimes it gets the point across. I don't know when we became this society that really doesn't give a fuck about women. I don't know when we became this society that feel like we still don't even pay women the same as men. We have laws and ordinances and everything else for like equal treatment, but what? There is no equal treatment when a man can't get paternity leave after having a baby, but a woman gets, what is it? It's 3 months unpaid, and you might lose your job. In other countries, do you know that a woman has, in some countries, up to a year of maternity leave with 6 months of pay? Some other countries have 6 months pay maternity leave. And it blows my mind. Here in America, we're like, yo, unpaid maternity leave, and you might lose your job. Good rising, caller, you're live. You're not live. You're not live.
Oh, yeah. Good morning. It's okay. I just wanted to say you do a fabulous inspirational job. Every morning I race to my car. If I with these kids get in my car to listen to you, you do an awesome job.
Thank you, Mama.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
So for those who do not know, I wake up every day. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I wake up at like 4:45 and come in by 5:15. Just being transparent, I don't get paid to be here. This is 2 years and a couple months. October made 2 years, so maybe 2.5 years I've been doing this. I do not get a paycheck. This is not a paycheck. This is a passion. And All my people to be free, to be free. I just want my people to wake the fuck up. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. We got a whole lot of backwards thinking and not enough people thinking ahead. I don't know what the solution is. I don't have the answers, but I feel as if we at least have a conversation that we can start somewhere. We can start something if we just talk or begin conversations. I wish I got paid though. Jesus, Buddha, Krishna. I wish somebody paid me. We're going to talk about religion because I am not religious. I am spiritual. I'm so spiritual without an ounce of religion in me. So that might be a problem for some of y'all. If it is, I apologize that you feel that way. But I feel when it comes to freaking religion, when we take a look at the Bible and when it says that you can do to women what's acceptable to be done to women, I didn't even want to bring this up on air because a lot of people feel some type of way about religion and politics. You want to get people to argue, bring up those two topics. And I'm not versed enough to sit here and argue with somebody about religion. So I don't even try. But religion basically says disrespect that bitch and love that bitch in the same sentence. Where in the Bible did a woman have 400 concubines? Where in the Bible did a woman have a husband, have a wife, have a husband, have a mistress, have a concubine, where are women empowered anywhere in religion? Other than being the birther of Jesus himself, where do women have empowerment roles in the Bible? Where in the Bible are women leaders? I'm thinking of a story. I don't know it well, but I'm thinking of a story. Doesn't really make her a leader, just I don't know. I really don't know. I'm frustrated today. Like with the stories that we read and the statistics that I read and people hitting me up as far as the crime that's going on in this city and just being in the know, my energy is low because there's a lot. There's so much going on in this world. And people don't even know half of it. People don't even want to know. And I get it. I get why ignorance is bliss. Sometimes I wish I was back 24 years old, not knowing a damn thing. Sometimes I do wish that. But then who would I be? I'd be out here living my life for the love of the money and instead of for the love of knowledge. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm sorry that my energy is low today. I'm going to go home and go meditate, try and vibrate a little higher.